Nope, afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to a new video. In today's video, yes, my makeup is on point. And yes, I am here with Pocho.
Hello. Sorry, we're driving.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about some stuff. So we wanted to talk about the movie. We watched this movie. It's called A Star Is Born. And I was totally convinced that it was about Lady Gaga's career. It is not. So if you're also...
A spoiler alert, hold on, spoiler alert.
Yeah, like if you're also like gonna watch the movie because you want to know how Lady Gaga started her career, it's not that. I was expecting like documentary movie type, but no. So I want you to give us your opinions on the movie, and then I'll give you guys my opinions in the movie.
Well, first describe what the movie is about.
Yeah.
So it's, I think, two fictional characters. What was it? Jackson Maine, this country singer from Arizona. Well, I don't know if he was
from Arizona.
So he was from Arizona. And this...
It was like country rock.
This girl growing up in the suburbs in New York, right? I live in New York. And she was like typical star undercover, like working as a server, being bossed around by her manager and hating life because everybody was treating her like crap, and really she was really talented. And so she's struggling. She's like trying to find gigs on a bar, which is really typical for up and coming musicians. It's a rough route until you make it or you find somebody who kind of wants to take you under their wing. And so the movie kind of develops around that story about how Jackson, he has an issue with drinking. And so she's singing at one of the bars where he pops in with his chauffeur, and then he hears her voice. His friend introduces her to Jackson, and then the story kind of develops from there. But it's a really, I think it was more a story about like how to cope with moving forward in that kind of career, because Jackson had a really big issue with drugs, with alcohol, and so it kind of shows you behind the scenes about what those stars kind of do if they're involved in that stuff, and the battle afterward, because he started falling in love with Ali, who was Lady Gaga's character, and that kind of goes to a certain point. Again, if you're watching this, spoiler alert, I don't know if we'll drop spoilers or not, but just in case, because we're really bad at not spoiling things. But I don't know. I think it was, obviously it was over dramatic to some aspects. Very weird kind of plot development at some points. Would you agree?
Which ones?
Like the romance, the way the romance.
Oh yeah, the way they developed, like the way they developed stuff, it was kind of like very rushed, but that's how you can tell it's very a fiction character love story. So the reality behind the story or the fiction part is kind of how things go, how you can get discovered as a singer, how you need to be out there with freaking cameras, with freaking everything for you to get noticed. So it just, I feel like it shows the complexity of that career of being a musician, because people think like, oh, he's just a singer, it's so easy to just sing and whatever. No, like to get started into that career is kind of like a hustle.
It's like anything, but more in that career, it's very...
The pressure they get as well is insane, and I think that the pressure they get is what throws them and throws a lot of artists to drugs and alcohol, because they find that that's their own escape and that's
escape, like a coping mechanism.
yeah, that's their coping mechanism for stopping reality, stopping this pressure, stopping all these eyes looking at me 24/7, and just be gone.
Yeah, and what I like about it is that it kind of shows you those periods where they'll do fine without it, and like you'll see a change in the character, but then it ends up going back. Like they always end up reverting, because that's a big thing about what you talk about.
Yeah, so I really liked the movie, and I'm mentioning this movie, like maybe you're asking yourself, why are you mentioning this movie? Because my channel is all about mental health, and I was not, how I said, I was not expecting this to be related to my passion or to what I like to talk about. I was expecting this to be about Lady Gaga's career. Like, that's all I wanted to watch. But then I started seeing how the mental health of this country singer, Jackson Lane, Maine.
The names are not important. It's the concept, guys. The concept.
Jackson Maine. Seeing how his mental health he was struggling so much, and how little comments from people can throw you on the edge. And that's something that I say all the time, and maybe if you watch my videos, you might hear it. Be careful with what you say, even if it sounds a little whatever thing. It can affect someone's life. Like, it can throw someone to the edge to want them to commit suicide. So this kind of like, you know, this character, he was trying to get better. He went to rehab. He was trying to push through, and then this other person in the story, which is the manager, the career manager of the singer of Ali, who is Lady Gaga. He kind of goes up to him and he's like, "Oh, you just embarrass her because you're a drinker, and you know she rejected this and that because we didn't let her bring you along because you're just bad for her image and all of this stuff." So I feel like that threw him so much to the edge that he wanted to change, that he was drinking water, he was trying to make, you know, that good positive move to improve his marriage. And those comments, that little conversation just threw him off to the point that sadly he committed suicide.
Spoiler alert!
Yes.
You're gonna have to edit that one like way before. That's the end of the movie. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert. Well, I'm telling you, we've been giving plenty of spoiler alert. That was a huge one. So yeah.
But yeah, it was very. I was crying like a baby. I was crying.
Oh my god, it was so
much.
Funny. At one point, everybody was fine. Like the scenes leading up, it was pretty intense, the movie. But I mean, as far as tears and things go, Mallory was fine. And then I'm watching the movie, and out of curiosity, I just wanted to look at her face. And right before the ending scene, she's bawling in tears. I felt so bad. But it was so cute. It was so funny.
And I really felt it because, like, I was able to relate to many of, like, the thoughts that the character was going through. And I was just grateful that I'm alive, you know. So it just really reminded me of how grateful you need to be to want to live, to want to continue your life, to want to pursue your purpose in life, because we all have a purpose. So that's a privilege that we have every single day. You wanting your own purpose to continue in life is like, not everyone does that. There's people that they just give up. and that's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking to know that I was one of those persons a couple years ago, you know, for almost my entire life. So it really just stuck up to me that I was really grateful at the same time that there was people watching this, because maybe they won't understand it as deep or whatever, it's just a movie, but slowly the industry is introducing mental health in many different aspects, and we just have to start reading through the lines and understanding what they're trying to mean with the trying to break the stigma. So I really like that the movie industry is trying to slowly wet their feet, kind of not scaring people away, but just kind of, you know, this can happen, this happened to this character, this happened to that character, and slowly people will start not seeing suicide as something taboo, but as an actual thing that's happening nowadays, as a disease. So, yeah, those are my opinions on the movie. So I really, really like it. I really wanted to share this. I feel like I just like sharing my opinion and different stuff.
You know it's a remake, right?
Oh, it's a remake?
Yeah.
You looked it up on Google.
Yeah. When I was looking, sadly, when we were looking for what the movie, I was curious because I was like, Lady Gaga singing country and all these things. I was like, I don't remember that.
I was like, I couldn't.
And Natalie looks over to me. She's like, I can't. Like, it's hard for me to see Lady Gaga's life like this before it was Lady Gaga. And I was like, something's not adding up here. Like, something's out
We were expecting her to show up with the costumes.
Oh my god!
And the wigs.
And so I started looking up, obviously, A Star Is Reborn, what the movie was about, and it was two fictional characters, Ali and Jackson. And then I saw all the list of remakes. I think it's been like maybe 4 or 5 remakes. Like one in the 90s, another one in the early 2000s.
That's crazy.
And so this is a remake of a remake of a remake of a remake. But it does have, because we read a few articles, it does have some of Lady Gaga's like influences. Her character, Ali, the character that she plays, I'm pretty sure one of the things that she talks about is her nose.
Yeah.
Because I'm almost
Being
certain.
a waitress.
You think?
Yeah, because I saw a documentary about her. She was a waitress in a kitchen.
Yeah, so there are little things that kind of add up to some of the things that Lady Gaga went through in her life. But it's just, there were like some really out there things that I was like, how? Are you sure? And so we looked it up. We just wanted to be sure that we were watching what we were watching. We just wanted to be sure of what we were watching. But it was good.
So
the movie was freaking awesome nonetheless. Really good. Really good. I don't give it a 10 out of 10, but I think a 7 or 8 out of 10.
I give it a 9.
Yeah, of course, because it's right down your alley of mental health.
I give it a 9, just because it really, you know, yeah, because I can relate, because it's about what my channel is, my brand is. So we'll see you guys
the next one
in the next video. Don't forget to learn something new, no matter from who, from what, or where. Just learn something new and apply it.
Peace.